skillet shooter. Blasting babies out of that crotch. So I try to think, you know, if we had a child, he would be named Graham. That's what I figure. I would have a child named Graham. And, okay, he would be late for the bus. He wouldn't have lunch money. He wouldn't have lunch. You know, his hair isn't combed that well. His socks don't match. Kids call him Soxy. He's sensitive and it really bothers him. And I don't really have, I try to tell him, like my mother told me, those children aren't worth a pea hole in the snow. But it doesn't help, and I really don't have answers. And all my friends say, you would be the greatest mother because you're so social, you're fun, you're gregarious, and what this translates into is that Graham locks his door to keep from having me talk to him. And he says he needs no privacy. And I say to him, privacy is an illusion. Through the door, what is it you're doing in there that I can't know about? What could you possibly be doing in there? And I hear him say, you're such a dweeb. Which is the thing that I can't, I mean, that's another thing about having children, they despise you. If you're lucky, they appreciate what you did for them, but most of them, they can't stand you. And so, but it's not the parents' fault. It's the fault of the nuclear family. The nuclear family is a disaster. It's like a prison. It's a prison where nobody gets what they want. Dad doesn't get laid. He has to compete with children for his wife's attention, like he's one of the kids. And the mother is so burdened, she's so smashed with responsibility she can hardly breathe. And the kids are just nothing but soccer matches and piano lessons and tests and grades and like this horrible, grim future. Their heads like a ball and chain, like this forever ball and chain. They're just, everybody's miserable. Now, how I know this is, when I was about 18, I read a book called The Invasion of Compulsory Sex Morality by Wilhelm Reich. The subject, a great deal of it's kind of interesting, but a lot of Freud's, I don't know, well, yes, some of Freud's theories and different things are based on the Trobrianders of Melanesia, on this particular ethnographer who lived with them in the beginning of the 1900s, before the missionaries got in there, and, you know, just like, oh, no, this we will not do. They straightened those people out fast. We don't live like that. First of all, it was a matriarchal society, which meant the woman is the boss. The kids are hers. The dad's just like a little playmate. You know, he just has a good time with the kids. And her brother is the heavy. He's the one who instills the discipline. And children are a gift from the sea. They don't even know that sex causes children. At least that's what they call it. And it's to bless their marriages. And so, but that's not really their big claim to fame. Their big claim to fame is that their children have sex. It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible to us, but they said that when the children are like 3 years old and they're playing house, they imitate coitus, right along with sweeping the floor and making dinner and everything. That's part of being mom and dad, is we have sex. And they're in the room when their parents have sex, so there's no primal scene. You know, they're not like freaked out for the rest of their lives. Their parents have sex. And they have to be quiet, and they can, you know, they're allowed to see what's going on. So then they start having sex at about 9, the girls, and 11, the boys. And they said that at first it's just play, it's super indiscriminate. And then around 13, 14, they start really developing serious relationships, and those get longer and longer, and then like around 20, fantasies, which he believed was because they were so in touch with their bodies that they just didn't have children unless they wanted them, unless it was the right time. Somebody else also said because they eat a lot of yams. So there's so many interesting things about that. And when they're having sex, they nibble on each other's eyelashes, and they scratch the hell out of each other's backs. So when you're really like, some kind of great lover, you have no eyelashes. He had to kind of, get around it in different ways. But he said that they squat to have sex. They squat. Like what? I mean, like they're squatting. Well, how do you? And there's this swinging motion and everything. And I still can't figure it out. One last interesting thing about them. They, once a year at the yam harvest, they have a one-night only, this is every year, at least in the early 1900s, now who knows, they had a one-night only sexual free-for-all where you could have sex with anybody you wanted, and your spouse could say and could not complain about any of your choices. I assume it would be like your husband's brother kind of thing, And the idea was to get it all out, get it out. Once a year, you get to act on hankerings, and that they let off steam, and then they went back to their monogamous relationships. So here's the final thing. I tried to think, okay, what good reason is there to have a child? When I was thinking about this, what's the really good reason to have a child? And my husband, Bill, was photographing at a health fair for Oxford Health Plans one time. And these three children came running in, and they were running around and knocking stuff over and going crazy. And one of the coordinators said, "Does anyone know who these children belong to?" And this woman, like this big woman, came in and she said, "Those are my children." And I thought, that's a great reason. I mean, wouldn't it feel good? Those are my children.